Hey folks, Chef Jean-Paul Bourgeois here, back in the Louisiana Cooking Test Kitchen, your authority for all things great out the Bayou State. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a New Orleans favorite sandwich. No, it's not the po' boy, it's your classic muffuletta. Let's get to work. All right, let's go over some of these ingredients. First, we have that classic sesame loaf. Look how big that guy is. The muffuletta is kind of known for being able to serve 4 or 5 folks. So that's going to come in handy when we're feeding this film crew here for lunch. We also have some ham, some mortadella, some salami, and some capicola. Also, a little sharp provolone, and of course, what really makes this sandwich sing is this olive salad made from different types of olives, pickled vegetables, capers, olive oil, and some herbs. It's super tasty and something that I grew up eating, not just like for lunch every now and then, but also like weddings and celebrations, birthday parties, you name it. They had little muffulettas, sandwiches. This is a really simple sandwich. If you have the ingredients, there's gonna be no cooking in this recipe, just assembly. I'm gonna go through a couple tricks that I like to focus on when making a muffuletta. You see this bread has been split right in half. If it's really doughy, or you want to make room, you can peel some of that off. Now I'm going to just do that in the top section. And the reason why, because the muffuletta, this bottom part of the loaf is really going to act as a sponge for all the olive oil and flavors that's in that olive salad. So I'm going to leave that bread on it, but I'm going to pick off a lot of the interior bread from the top section. Now you could eat this sandwich right away, but it's really best to sit for 3 hours at least, or even overnight in the fridge wrapped in plastic. More reason to have a good sponge as the bottom. And the reason why I leave the bottom and leaving that as my sponge, because of gravity, right? So like we're gonna set this muffuletta up like that once it's built, and gravity is gonna bring all that olive oil and juices down where it's going to soak up in this bottom part of the loaf. You can assemble this however you like. Of course, I like to just layer the meat and then the cheese and then more olive salad on top. You know, if you have some other deli cuts, feel free to use them. Make it yours. This is a really classic style muffuletta or muffuletta, depending on where you're from and how you pronounce it. But I really just like taking a lot of that olive salad and getting a nice heaping spoonful and just getting it right on there. Again, I'm using that bottom part of the loaf as a sponge. It really is one of those sandwiches that gets better with time. You got a fishing trip you're gonna go on? Go ahead and make a muffuletta, wrap it up, put it in your cooler for your fishing trip the night before. And then from here, you're just gonna wanna layer. I have my mortadella already shingled. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer that shingled mortadella like that. Just some pretty basic ham. If you got your own ham you're making, go ahead and use it. If you got your special ham from your deli that you like, be my guest. Load it up however you like it. Also, if you want to make this just with a different bread and have a more like slider style or smaller handheld sandwich, go ahead and do that. Like I said, you find these sandwiches a lot during Super Bowl parties and Mardi Gras and weddings and funerals. Almost any occasion you can find some version of a muffuletta on the table. Capicola, or in New York they might say, or in Jersey they might say capicola. It's basically a cured spicy ham made from the shoulder section of the pork. All right, looking good. And then I'm gonna add sharp provolone. If you like mozzarella, if you like a more mild cheese, go ahead and use that. Swiss would work. Sharp provolone, you know, just again, adding to those flavors of the muffuletta. They're potent, they're strong, they're punchy and pungent. Also, this sandwich kind of is directly influenced by the Sicilians that came over during the settling of Louisiana. And you see this popularized through a restaurant or through a place called Central Grocery in New Orleans, who's really, you know, made the muffuletta as popular as it is. And there's certainly been many different variations from many different places along the way. Now I'm going to kind of drain more of the olive oil off of the top side. I'm going to add just a thinner layer of olive salad on the top. Just enough so it's nice and well balanced. This is not a sandwich for the faint at heart. I keep saying that. This is going to get messy. This is not for just one. This is meant to feed a crowd. So just like that, I like to add it, now just give it a little press down. All right. Now I have some plastic wrap here. And that's what I want. I want to just really wrap this nice and tight. I've pressed down on it a little bit, but I'm going to use the plastic wrap to really get a good, solid wrap, a tight wrap on this sandwich. I'm going to give it multiple wraps here, not just one. This is really key, this process of getting a good, tight, packaged wrap of the muffuletta into a manageable kind of sandwich that you can cut. And then, not done yet. So once I have all those sides kind of plastic wrapped, I'm going to take that. Now I'm going to start going really tight. You're going to be happy that you did this, because it really just keeps that guy nice and compact. While it's in the fridge, I'm just really stretching that plastic wrap out, trying to get a nice tight wrap. And you can see that sucker is not leaking or going anywhere. It's a nice tight little bundle package. I can do whatever I want with it. I can take it onto the boat, pack it in my cooler. It's safe, it's compact, it's sealed, or it can go right into the fridge. Like I said, at least 3 hours or up to 24 hours. Can sit in that fridge, and it kind of just marinates and becomes a totally different thing than just layering it and making it a sandwich as is. So let's put it in the fridge, and we'll come back in 3 hours, give it a cut, give it a try. All right, we got our muffuletta out of the fridge. It's been hanging out for a few hours. It's still looking good. I can see the oil starting to seep through that bottom layer. So with a pair of scissors, I'm just going to kind of get underneath that plastic and start peeling back those layers of plastic. Now you don't want to undo it from the wrapper until you're ready to serve. And just over time, this muffuletta is going to really just become what we think of like a deli sandwich with olive salad. Over time, it's going to become a muffuletta when it starts kind of melding together and marinating together like it has been for the last few hours. So just really carefully, going to lift that out and good to go. Now, at this point, if you wanted to make a hot muffuletta, go ahead and put it in the oven like this. If you have a panini press, that'll work. Of course, it's going to take some time to get all those interior deli meats and cheese hot and melty, but it has been known for people to do hot muffulettas. I like mine cold. I think it eats better. It's the traditional way to do a muffuletta, and it's just kind of, for me, it's what I remember growing up as a kid. So you can just do it right in half like that, and then cut into quarters. And voila. See how oily that bottom is? That's going to really help give me the right amount of juiciness as I bite in to the whole thing with all that deli meat. Let's give it a shot. If your mustache and upper lip is glistening, you're doing it right. My name's Chef Jean Paul. I am out.